Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pandemic Podcast. Today we are watching Jurassic Park. So if you have your, was that muted? Okay, I don't know. I don't know if it was muted or not. But anyway, we are watching Jurassic Park today. So if you have your own copy, put the timer start to 0 and press play right now. And I mean, like, once the actual movie starts, not when they're playing the modern day, or is it even modern day anymore? The Universal logo. It's so weird because like it just plays the modern Universal logo, and now it's playing the one from I assume 1993, which is where this came out. Now, I was never actually the biggest fan of this movie. I haven't seen it in years. I don't think I've seen it since like Jurassic World came out. Actually, I think I did like watch it once out of curiosity. Like once when I just kind of spent a weekend watching the Star Wars trilogy to see if it was really that good, and I just kind of felt the same way about it. I had no big complaints, but it didn't really hit me the same way I guess it hits other people. And the same with Jurassic Park, because I decided to watch all three of them. I can't really remember what I thought of the first one, but I do remember because I'm not sure if I had seen Jurassic Park 2 and 3 before, it would have been very, very it would have only been once. I would have only been once, maybe twice when I was very young. But I remember watching Jurassic Park 2 and being extremely bored by it. And then Jurassic Park 3 comes out and it's like, oh, the main characters are back. But I can't really remember anything else beyond that. They even have the Jurassic Park logo on it because it is like a park. I wonder what the reaction must have been in the theater, like to have the Jurassic Park logo on their head. They must have thought it was a crap movie if they have the movie logo on their head. It's like, how does that work in the continuity? But it is like an amusement park. It's so weird. So apparently this was the movie that got everyone into dinosaurs or whatever. Like, is that true? Like, all the kid shows or whatever, Dinosaur Train, Dino Den, did those all like start up because of Jurassic Park? You know how it's like the Crap Brothers with Zaboomafoo and Wild Kratts and the other show that they had before, which I only watched the first episode of, was the Big Five and the Little Five. This is like the Big Five is Rhino, and then there's Leopard and Lion and something, and then the Little Five are like Rhino, Beetle, Leopard, Tortoise. Uh, I don't know. See if you can find it. It's not the worst. It's not the worst thing that I've ever seen. But you know how the Crap Brothers got really famous because, like, while there had been a lot of animal documentaries and stuff like that, the Crap Brothers actually got really close to these animals and like engaged with them really. And there was a lot of misconceptions about animals, like how like tigers are just fearsome beasts who just attack everyone, but the Crap Brothers are like, no, the tigers are just trying to defend themselves and get their own food and stuff like that. And I'm not sure if I'm sure there were people. I mean, obviously the Crap Brothers figured it out somehow, but like it's just to help the general public. And I feel like it's so weird because like I wasn't even born when this movie came out, so it's like it's so weird because this movie is iconic. It's referenced all the time. Jeez, well, I'm not actually commenting on what's happening in the movie right now, but I assume a dinosaur is just eating people. Of course, the black guy gets eaten first. Come on. At least, like, they are trying to help him. It is like 1993. But like as I was just saying, like it's so weird because this movie is iconic, but like I was like by the time that I was born, this movie had already been out for quite a while. So it's like I don't really know what it's like to live in a world where people don't know what Jurassic Park is. It's kind of weird because like and I didn't really get into what the general public knows and stuff like that until like just recently, a few years ago. So I feel like the only movies that have come out that have left a huge impact on people and deserve to go in that national film registry thing, that like, that people have memed to death now is Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Because like, like I remember a world where we had no idea who that was. We thought that Avengers Infinity War might be a bad movie, but then it came out and now everyone knows who Thanos is. Cosmonaut Variety Hour said that he says like some old people on the plane talking about that new superhero movie with Thanos. Thanos is a unique name though. I mean, obviously it is based on a comic and all that. But yeah, like it's just so weird to think about. So this guy is the clumsy guy, I assume. So Jurassic World, is that controversial? It probably is. I feel like you can't make a movie that isn't. I feel like you just can't. Like you can't take a franchise that is iconic, even if it is just the first movie or the first two movies that are beloved, and you can't reboot it or like continue it decades later without a handful of people being like, "Oh, this movie sucks" or whatever. Like everyone seems to love Toy Story 4. I haven't seen it, but even Nitpicks went ahead and criticized it and talked about why he hated it. He said that, like the only reason that, the characters like Woody have any sort of emotional impact are because that we got to know him over the previous three movies. He's a digger, a gold digger. Literally. Is that gold? Oh no, it isn't. Right, so it's like they're cloning dinosaurs, right? It's like that's so, like obviously. But it's just like so it's so weird to think that they discovered cloning. How to clone. Do you know like what they could have done with that? Could you imagine like having a clone of yourself? But it's like they decide I feel like this would be a good opportunity to have a twist in the movie where it turns out that like the guy running the place is actually a clone of himself and the original him died or got tucked away or something. But like couldn't they just clone dinosaurs from the skeleton or whatever? I don't know. The point is that it's so weird because I always thought of how funny it would be to have. I feel like so many times I come up with an interesting idea, and the reason why I know that it's interesting is because then I later find out that someone already had it before me. But it's like, I was thinking, like, imagine if there was a machine that you could just go inside and then it would just heal all injuries. And then I was thinking, how extensive could that be? Like, if you got an entire limb chopped off, could you go inside the machine and it would just regrow the limb? And then I was thinking, imagine like if you got completely obliterated and only like one hair or one drop of blood was all that remained. Like it's like, imagine if the Thanos snap happened and you were being disintegrated, and as a the last ditch action that you do to save yourself is spit on the floor and hope that like say one of your friends comes by, finds the spit on the floor, realizes what's going on, puts it inside the machine, and then your entire body regrows from saliva. I don't know. That's probably really gross to think about, but it's just something that I would think about. And then people were like, okay, you're literally just making it a cloning machine. And I was like, really? I didn't know that. It's so weird though, because like, imagine if like I just plucked a hair off my head and then I put the hair inside the machine and then an entire different version of me grows from it. And then I enter the machine myself and all that it does is regrow that one hair. It's like, and then you do have a clone of yourself. I wonder if the machine would somehow be programmed that the original you has to be like dead or something. No, it couldn't be because the whole idea is that it's just to heal you if you're injured. I don't know. I remember when I was I can't remember where we were, like somewhere I don't know, but like there was this icy mountain and there was a bus that we were going to get on to like kind of drive up the mountain for a bit. And like the people like our tour guides were like, "Wait, what is this guy saying?" Is that true? If you stay still, the T-Rex can't see you? I feel like it's not like a superpower thing. It's not like you become invisible. The T-Rex should eventually be able to realize that if he's watching you move and then suddenly you disappear, it's because that you're standing still and you're still exactly where they left off. Maybe the T-Rex has short-term memory, I don't know. So this guy's already a paleontologist. He already knows a lot about dinosaurs. And this is before Jurassic Park came out. I wonder what it would be like if like something cool happened that was like something that could only happen in a movie. And then suddenly it turns out that a whole bunch of people had just come up with an idea on their own exactly how to write that exact movie before it actually happens in real life. Like imagine if you and like your production team spend like a couple years making a movie and then right when it's released, the exact events of the movie play out in real life. Imagine that. Just imagine that. That'd be so cool. But as I was saying, like our tour guide was kind of saying like, "Is everybody ready?" And then we all just kind of were silent because we were all just kind of bored, really. And and then someone else was just like, "Yes, we are," just for the sake of it. I remember I met some other guy. I might as well say his name. His name was Chris. not Chris from my school. There are a lot of guys named Chris. But I just kind of sat with him, and we didn't exchange numbers, unfortunately. I didn't really think of it. But we just kind of sat down. He was just filming squirrels on the balcony or whatever. And we just kind of talked about how there was science talking about how the ice on the mountain was melting. And like, we should come back in 60 years and see and compare how the mountain, even though, to be honest, I can't really remember how much ice was melted. I think it was like a lot, but I think that might have been a picture showing what the mountain is supposed to look like in 60 years anyway. I don't know. I promised my grandparents that I would come back and look at the mountain again. I don't know. Maybe I will if I even live that long. But that's your camper? I mean, I guess it is 1993. I guess you got stuff in it. Oh, this guy just break in? Yeah, I hate that. Like, The Big Bang Theory is a show that I used to like, and now I hate it. And it's like, stuff like champagne bottles, like you're just saving it sealed, but then once you pop it, you have to drink it then. It's like, there must be a way to reseal it. It's just, it would be, obviously there has to be, because they sealed it in the first place. So there must be a way to like reseal it. Unless it's something stupid like they have to seal it in a very specific way as they're creating the bottle. I don't know. Did I say jerk? What? So yeah, like Star Wars, I did just happen to watch a little bit before I did the podcast, and Back to the Future and Superman are kind of movies that I know a lot about. But I think this is the movie that I'm doing a podcast about that I don't know much about it. Like it's not like I've watched it so many times. Who knows? Maybe I'll walk away at the end of this thinking it's the greatest movie ever, or one of. I mean, it kind of arguably is. It's in the National Film Industry Registry or whatever. I don't know. I just heard the news that Shrek gone into the National Film Registry. It's like every year since 1989, like they were made in 1988, and then every year since 1989, they pick 25 movies to be preserved forever. And this year, Shrek was decided to be in there. It's like, yeah. I mean, it deserves it, yeah. I mean, I think what the heck was that? I think I saw Shrek ages ago. Like, I can't I don't know, man. I don't know. There's so many movies that like I haven't seen or I like only saw once and don't remember anything about. I was actually someone was saying the other day how they're watching Grey's Anatomy. I have no idea what that is, but they're talking about how there's like 16 seasons or whatever, and they meant to watch the whole thing, but they just had gotten to the end of season 4 or something, and then they had a kid, so they couldn't really watch the rest of the show because she was focused on raising her kid. And then she always meant to go back to it, but every single time that she meant to go back to it, she had another kid somehow. It's like, geez, man, like what? How many kids did you have? And now apparently she's finally gotten back to it, but she's completely forgotten everything that happened in it. So now she's back at the middle of season 3 because she's rewatching what she's already seen. It's like I can't wait to. I mean, like, not really, but like, it's like how Stephen Moffat said that he wants his memory completely wiped of Doctor Who just so that he can watch the first episode again and have his mind blown by the biggest arm, bigger on the inside thing. I could do that with Rose, or I guess the pilot, or even the woman who fell to Earth, or the ghost mind me. I don't know. Well, the point is that, like, it'd be cool to like just have your memory like, it's like it's weird because like if it was something that had like a huge impact on you, which it probably did if you're bothering to wipe your memory of it just so that you can re-experience it, then there's going to be a lot of other things too. Like you'd essentially have to have your memory completely wiped all the way back to when you first saw it because, like it's like how The Good Place talked about it. Like like memories kind of blend in together with other memories because sometimes you think about other memories as you're doing other stuff even if it is just subconsciously. And then it's like the memories kind of blend in like a milkshake. It's not like you can just pluck in and extract your memory of Jurassic Park. But it's like, it'd be cool to like just kind of forget about what happened in a movie or TV show and just so that you can go and re-experience it again. Although chances are you're probably not going to have the same experience because you'll be a different person. That is, unless if you completely wipe your memory back. And then assuming you'd need to have your memory re-implanted after that. I don't know. It's so weird, like, the idea of playing with memories. It's so weird because, like, we're always, like, trying to remember everything that happens to us. It's like, I think it's like every time that we gain a memory, it comes at a sacrifice at a previous memory. It's like your brain lines up all of your memories in between the should keep forever and can be sacrificed. It's like every time that you gain a memory that you want to keep forever, your brain has to sacrifice some random day that you ate breakfast that you don't really care about. And then sometimes your brain accidentally throws away something that you wanted to remember, and then your brain has to frantically dig it back up as you're trying desperately to remember it again. I know I'm not talking about the movie at all. I'm just talking about whatever thoughts come to my head. I remember watching footage of me as a baby. My dad would always film me, and like, I was in like a little white hat thing, and my dad was just kind of shaking the camera and going, "Baby in the hood." Sorry, what am I even talking about? What am I even talking about? I'm not talking about the movie at all. I'm sorry, guys. I think this is, I more see as these podcasts as an opportunity to vent about random stuff. This is still the introduction of the movie, though. Although, to be fair, I don't even know what's happening because I haven't been paying attention. Oh my gosh, should I start this? Should I start this over? I don't know. So the guy there in the black vest and the glasses, he had like a big role in Jurassic Park 2, and he had like apparently a very disappointingly minor role in Jurassic World 2. Yeah, the little set that I have has like 5 discs. It has Jurassic Park and then Jurassic Park 2 and Jurassic Park 3. And then it has a bonus disc for the first movie, and then it has a bonus disc for movies 2 and 3. It's like I wonder if the third movie ever comes out, if we'll have a Jurassic World box set and it'll be like the same thing except the discs will be blue instead of red. Why? You bring a rock star? Oh. I wonder what this was like watching in the theaters, because like probably people were extremely bored by this point, I feel. Although maybe they weren't, I don't know, because this memory was remembered so, this movie was remembered so fondly. I remember when I was in a helicopter, I honestly didn't find it that exciting. The only thing that got me any sort of emotion was the fact that they were really trying to get inside my head that the helicopter could crash and we could die or get stranded. And it was like, well, obviously it can't be like that big of a risk if we're doing it. Otherwise, like the place would have been sued by now or whatever. It's like it's like it's gonna happen one day, so every single time that the helicopter makes it through a journey without crashing, the chances of it crashing the next time increases. It's like how, Doctor Who, every time that a new episode, that an old episode rather, like a missing episode is discovered, the chances of another one being discovered goes down quite a lot. Or sometimes you just happen to dig up 10 episodes in a row, but then accidentally junk another one of them. Did he just tie his seatbelt for extra security? I have sunglasses like that are like gray. They really like this music. I wonder how they come up with like music and stuff like that. Like I can like I come up with like ideas for stories or whatever, but I can never come up with ideas for music or whatever. Like here's a tune that I thought of years ago, and I'm not sure if I actually thought of it or if it's just a resurfaced memory, but like the tune just goes da 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 da. Do you guys know that tune from anywhere? Or did I just make it up? If I make it up, please don't steal it. I have this podcast as evidence. Unless if YouTube frickin' terminates my channel. But I still have it on my laptop or whatever. I don't know. How could I prove that you guys had seen it? I don't know. It's not just coincidental or whatever. At the end of every movie, they have to say, "We swear this wasn't copied. If it's similar to anything else, it's purely coincidental." Someone just recreates the entire Super Mario Brothers game and is all just like, "No, I swear it was coincidental." 10,000 volts, jeez. It's like the 1001 movies to see before you die, 1001 video games to see before you die, 1001 golf holes you need to play before you die. Like, jeez. What does that even mean though, 1001 movies that you have to see before you die? Like, why? Like, so that you have a certain personality? Like, if everyone saw those movies and they all have the same personality, the way they see these movies would be influenced by how other things happening in their lives as well. There are probably certain movies that are iconic, but I would really be annoyed by because of the certain ways that my life has gone. And there are probably movies that I really like that other people would hate because of certain things that happen in their life. Why can't everyone just have amazing lives so that we can all appreciate great movies? So this scene is the iconic one, eh? This scene is just so amazing because it's of the characters first reacting to actually seeing. Sorry, I'm breathing into the microphone so much. Of the like, I can just imagine. Like, could you imagine if these actors knew how good of a movie this was supposed to be? Imagine going back in time to before this movie was created and telling these actors just how iconic this movie is going to be, and they're just like, okay, this is the iconic scene. You're seeing dinosaurs for the first time. If you screw this scene up, the entire movie is ruined. So it's a freaking Brachiosaurus or Brontosaurus, whatever it's called. I don't even know. Isn't a Brontosaurus now called the Apatosaurus? Like, what the hell? Yeah, I used to love dinosaurs as a kid. The only reason that I know what a Cosmoceratops is because of, well, Dino Dance Trekk's adventure, but also just my obsession with dinosaurs. It's so sad to think of dinosaurs. They were the dominant species on Earth for freaking like over 100 million years, right? Because they first evolved in the 270 million years ago, and then 65 million years ago, and God gave them so long to do whatever they wanted, and supposedly they just kind of roamed around like other animals, and then eventually God is just like, okay, whatever, let's try again, wipes out the dinosaurs and tries again with humans. It's like no one talks about the Paleozoic era, like before the dinosaurs. Even Dinosaur Train bothered to go there eventually. Just had to start with dinosaurs to get in on it. So even the ground shakes. Just the entire ground just snaps in half when the Brachiosaurus lands on the ground. At least they didn't take like for frickin' ever to get to it. You know, we're only 20 minutes into the movie. We finally see. So yeah, I was talking about cloning like way back at the beginning. So they apparently cloned the dinosaurs by finding freaking mosquitoes that were trapped in sap 65 million years ago and taking the blood that the mosquito was extracted from the like holy crap, man, just use a freaking skeleton. Like are you honestly going to tell me oh they couldn't use a skeleton because it didn't have like all of the DNA that they needed, but they did have it in the tiny little bits of blood hidden in a mosquito in sap for millions of years? What the hell? Maybe I just don't. Oh, Parasaurolophus is. So supposedly humans have done way more in the past, like, 100 years than dinosaurs ever did. I remember, like, Oliver Harper in his commentary for Back to the Future Part 2, where it turns out that George McFly died in, what, 1973 or 75? And he's like, oh no, he never got to see Star Wars. This is just a travesty. I'll show you. Yeah, I knew he was going to say that. Is it because of a memory, or is it just because it's the obvious thing to say? So there's also the iconic line here of saying because we can, right? It's just like so because I was just talking to someone yesterday and talking about I'm ashamed of the fact that I didn't learn what a dehumidifier was until last summer when my grandparents thought that I didn't know what hard work was and thought that a good way to do it was by telling me to empty the dehumidifier whenever it was filled up. And I was just so blown away by the fact that it sucks water out of the air that like I was so happy to do it. It's just like geez, like did they just film this in a museum? But yeah, just tell people about dehumidifiers 100 years ago. They'll think that you're crazy. And then there are apparently humidifiers as well. And I was just wondering, like, imagine like either how many or how big of a dehumidifier would you have to build to go outside and have it have any sort of impact on the outside world. And like the other person was saying, like, well, you'd have to constantly have it running because dehumidifiers aren't like a permanent solution for anything. The humidity comes back very quickly as soon as you turn it off. And I was like, no, no, but I'm not talking about like to actually affect the environment. I'm talking about just the environment, like just have it on for like 5 minutes or however long you need in order to say that it had a significant impact on the environment. And then build an even bigger one that does actually only take 5 minutes to do that, just to say because we can, just to have it in the Guinness World Book of Records, largest dehumidifier that had the biggest impact on the general, like the biggest general area. Yeah, I remember when I first saw this as a kid, and I was just like, what the hell? Like it's like you know how there are movies like Fantasia, which I don't think I've seen except for once in art class, and I didn't really get it. There's just so many movies where it's like there's not actually a plot, but it's just like a bunch of random crap happening just to keep your kids distracted because they don't know what a story is yet. It's like I was pretty much just watching this movie with that in mind as this. I was like, why are there people coming out of him? Why is there a little Looney Tune cartoon bubble thing, I assume? It's just like, because what the heck? Like, I was a kid. I didn't know what the frick cloning was, even though they seem to be trying to explain it for little dum-dums. Like dinosaurs. Mosquitoes are immortal. They will never die. Oh my God, don't tell me that freaking COVID is going to become the next dominant species after. No, hopefully this all works out. Hopefully, whatever. I don't know. Hopefully, you're watching this in a time where COVID is long gone or long dealt with or whatever. I don't know. So you're not cloning the mosquitoes. You're being very careful. Like what happens if you did it even a tiny bit wrong and got a bit of DNA from the mosquito and then the dinosaur comes back as some sort of monster dinosaur mosquito hybrid? Why not clone the mosquitoes though, just so that you can bring them back to life essentially? It's weird to think about. Like if you had it so that when you die you become a clone, it's like that wouldn't be immortality. All that would be is that ensuring that your mind continues to live on and have effects on humanity, but you will still die. It's just your clone is like essentially a separate being. So, imagine like cloning someone as an 8-year-old or even just now, and then just letting you, both of you, live your own separate lives, and then just meet them up, and it'd be like they're two entirely different people who just happen to have the same face, essentially. But even like their face might be different depending on if they ended up in an accident or whatever. I don't know. So the park isn't open yet? Are they on a freaking ride? Oh, okay, that's cool. They have those bars and the kids must have felt cheated. It's like, hey, I could have gotten out of my seat before the bars came down. What does that mean? Oh, okay. You cloning ostrich eggs? Yeah. I remember when I went on a ride like that. It was just me and my mom, and there was like some other people in the other one or whatever. It was like, it was kind of weird because it was making me feel queasy. And then I just thought of Ice Age 4, where Manny's like, keep your eye on the horizon. So I was just focusing on the floor. And then I thought of Diego, who responds with, I can't find the horizon. And I was saying, oh, I can just think of funny stuff to help get me through this tragic ride that my mom forced me on. She didn't force me on it. I thought it was kind of fun in the end. I can't remember what it was about. It was like some sort of space mission to do whatever. I don't know. I mean, heck, you could probably do it in this pandemic since no one showed up when we were there. Imagine having to wear a mask on a space mission. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be much different than wearing clothes, I guess. Like sometimes I'll go on walks or whatever and people will wear masks not because of the pandemic, but just because it helps keep their face warm. Were they just lucky that they're just happening to hatch? Are all of them hatching? He can't understand you, idiot. It looks like a freaking gremlin. Oh. Oh, it is cute though, even though it has a giant zombie eye. So now he thinks that they're their parents? God. Wait, imagine if that's actually how it worked. Imagine if a baby was born and then just saw some random guy and then he was convinced that he was his parent and then he just ignores his actual biological parents all because that he didn't see them first. That would be horrible. What? Why? Why are all the dinosaurs female? I mean, I would love to be a female. But like by that I mean that it would have to be some sort of magic spell, you know? I don't want to have some sort of surgery that messes up my body. Like even someone bothered to tell me like your body is fine as it is, please don't ruin it by getting a sex change. But it's like, you know, if there was some sort of magic spell that could just kind of keep everything about me the same, but make me a female, I would take it. Wait, hang on. I'm Googling it. Why are all the Jurassic Park dinosaurs female? Is that just so that they don't mate? Did they just like flip a coin on whether they'd be male or female? In the first Jurassic Park novels and movies, all dinosaurs in Jurassic Park are female because for safety reasons, the dinosaurs shouldn't be able to reproduce if they escaped in the wild. But why female? Life finds a way. That's another very iconic line. I feel like I've heard that a million times before, like in a good way. On the wiki, there's a article that says sex determination in dinosaurs. I thought that said sex discrimination. Jeez. Oh yeah, and there's also the clever girl line. That's iconic, isn't it? Like that's coming at some point. What the frick is that? Why is there a dead cow? Sorry, wait. I'm restarting that. Wait, hang on. Stopping now. And we're back, guys. Okay. So, why is he like talking in like happiness and fascination at a dead cow? It's a dead freaking bull. Like, is that like a bull? It's not even a cow, it's a bull. Isn't it like all cows are female because, and all bulls are male because like they're the same species, but bulls are the male and cows are the female? I was thinking like, imagine if it was like humans were like that. There was a term for male humans and female humans. Oh wait, that's just men and women. Well, at least it was already dead, huh? It was already dead, right? Please don't tell me that it was like they just put a shot in the cow to make it like, you know, stunned, and then they dropped it and then it's screeching in pain as it's desperately trying to fight the drug as the dinosaur eats it. Maybe my mind is too dark. I hope that that wasn't actually what was happening. Why would they do that? Why not just kill the cow? You want to have the blood on the dinosaur's hands? Instead, the dinosaurs are all going to jail just for eating food. I'm getting the microphone closer to my mouth because even though like it's gonna be like there's more me breathing into the microphone, it's just it'll overall be like louder, easier for you guys to hear, I think. It's annoying because then I can see the microphone out of the bottom left corner of my eye. They remember stuff, wow. I wonder what is the most forgetful species on the planet. Is it goldfish? Like, is there like imagine what it would be like if you literally had no concept of memory. You could literally only like be aware of the exact moment that is happening in front of you. You couldn't learn anything. You would just have knowledge of the sliver of time that you're experiencing. It's like you just forget stuff instantly. Like I don't think I can even imagine that. It's like how you can't really imagine what it's like to be asleep before or after you're dreaming, or to be dead, or to be blind, really, because that would involve like a level of non-existence. It's like that would be kind of it too. It's just you're only aware of that one thing. So, like what do blind people see? Well, you know how when you close one eye, when you close both eyes, you can still see something. It's like a sort of redness for me. But when you close one eye, the one eye that's closed literally can't see anything. And also, you can just ask yourself, what do you see with your elbow or literally any other part of your body that isn't your eyes? It's not darkness, it's just nothing. I learned that from Brightside. So this movie's 2 hours long. I thought it was an hour and a half. When are we gonna get to just 90-minute movies? Feels like I'm talking about breathing into the microphone. Oh my god. So is this guy the smart guy? The guy in the black vest? That's another line. I remember that line from somewhere. I can't remember where it is. Yeah, you were so obsessed with thinking about if you could never stop to think about if you should. No, Smudge, no. Dang it. Smudge, press some buttons on my microphone. It's okay. It's okay, Smudgy. It's okay. I feel bad for Smudgy. It's like if you show if he's on your lap and then you move even a little bit, he like runs away, thinking that's like you don't want him on your lap at all. Smudgy, it's okay. You'll be fed soon. 25 minutes. Jeez. I feel like that would be an iconic line too, but not really, because I don't think I've heard it before. Maybe people say it in passing, but it's not a well-known phrase since it has the R word in it. I don't think they even have the concept of what a century or year or maybe even day is. It's like we're so obsessed with the concept of centuries, 100, 200 years ago. Just imagine dinosaurs or really any other animal. They just don't care. They don't even know what a century is. They don't know what 100 years is. They don't have base 10. It's like a dinosaur train where they do like high four or high three or high two, depending on how many fingers they have. What would it even look like to have one finger? Like it's like how horses have one toe. It's like it doesn't even look like a toe because it's just one. Like it's like how having 6 fingers is a dominant gene, like how having brown eyes are. Like if a 6-fingered person and a 5-fingered person have a kid, it's almost definitely going to be a 6-fingered person. It's just we don't have a lot of 6-fingered people because, there just aren't that many. They would have to reproduce more in order for us to have more 6-fingered kids. I wonder how rare it is for two people to meet and just happen to have a kid who just so happen to both have 6 fingers. Why does the guy look so? Oh, it's because it's kids. He doesn't like kids. Is that his character arc? He's gonna learn to like kids, want a kid, whatever. Oh, freaking. He's not related to those kids, right? Like, it's just like then it seems like he's being especially cruel. No, the guy in the white shirt that he's their grandpa, right? Does the guy in the white shirt die in this movie? I don't know if that's spoilers. No one really knows what a spoiler is anymore. Everyone's accusing people of spoilers just for giving away a tiny little detail about the movie or just for like kind of dropping a hint. And it's just like, no, what they said wasn't a spoiler. It became a spoiler once you started ranting, talking about it being a spoiler. Because, like, if someone actually read what they wrote, they wouldn't be able to tell that it's a spoiler, but it isn't until that you made such a big deal out of it, saying you shouldn't be saying stuff like this, you're spoiling the movie, and that's what made the viewers go, oh, wait a minute, so this is like deeply important. Oh, I think I know what happens. That's like some people think that if they speculate about what might happen in the movie and then it just so happens to be true, then it becomes a spoiler or it was a potential spoiler. Like, no, coming up with a theory about what might happen next is not a spoiler, even if it does happen to be true. Poor guy. Whichever one you're in. Yeah, poor guy. I didn't remember that line. It is just like the predictable thing to say. You can just get out of the car, can't you? Is there a child's lock thing? How do you open the other door then? Maybe from the outside? I don't know. It must be possible. Are there cars that only open from the outside but not the inside? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what a child lock is. What am I talking about? Sorry. At least I think so. I remember once when I was in a store and I was like with my younger siblings and I actually thought that a dollar was 60 cents and not 100 cents, and I felt so embarrassed once I realized I was mistaken. I was trying to like figure out the math for change or whatever. Hey, to be fair, the guy Chris at my school, he was trying to help sixth graders with their math, but then he found out that he couldn't figure out how to do it. So hey, I guess everyone like has their own little moments of embarrassment where they figure out that they're not as knowledgeable as they think. So many people mistake the difference between knowledge and like being knowledgeable and being smart. Like you can be the smartest person in the world, but if you were never taught anything, then you won't know anything. So these cars have to follow that line on the ground? Is the line on the ground to make sure that like they can only turn so much to the left or right and can't go over? How many times do they bump? Oh, look, it's the logo of the movie we're in. No, it's gonna open, you idiot. Even duh. Did these guys never see an automatic door before this movie? Were grocery stores never having automatic doors? What was life like in 1992 before this movie came out? Or really just the day before this movie came out? I mean, like, even then, like, like trailers weren't like widestream or whatever. The internet was barely a thing, if at all. I can just imagine people in 2050 watching this movie the same way that we look at Shakespeare. I got that from a YouTube comment with Shrek, the national film industry. It's like, what the heck are those? Why they use those as video footage, just tiny little box TV camera things? Like, hey, mate, that's what I had as a TV back in my day. Reminds me of that one intro, that one episode of Arthur, where they were like, there was like an electric field or whatever. They had to follow a path, and they weren't even allowed to take pictures because even the light that like came from the camera that went into the wild could have some sort of impact or something. It's like the story of Sound of Thunder. I haven't actually read it, but I read the Wikipedia synopsis, and I recommend that you do too. Because like, there is like a twist at the end, and it's like, oh, that's what the title is about. Except this isn't even time travel, it's just like a national, it's just like the African lion safari. Who the heck is this guy? What? I don't blame people for their mistakes, but I do ask that they pay for them. What the hell? What was his mistake? Is he the one who cloned the dinosaurs? I was like telling the guy to be happy about it, even though he's not or whatever. Nah, that's a twist too clever for this movie. I didn't mean to like be bashing on the movie there. It's just like I don't know. I think it's just another case of like, it's like when I showed someone Back to the Future and they said that they weren't that impressed by it. And I was like, well, yeah, I guess so. Because Back to the Future was like the thing that really kick-started my interest in time travel. But if you're already familiar with all the time travel concepts and then you go watch Back to the Future, it does kind of look a bit basic, and I guess that's what kind of this movie is about too. The movie was already iconic by the time I was born, so like all the concepts were already done to death. There's a scene where the guy like pretends to be electrocuted by a fence, isn't there? It's something to do with those lights, remember? I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. What? What? Wait, I remember that. I remember my parents laughing at that line. I don't remember what that's about. Oh, because man, he's saying man instead of human. Oh no! Why is it still alive? Why are you keeping it alive, you cruel idiots? When did man destroy God? I don't know. Whatever. Nothing is happening. Sorry, I'm not talking right now because nothing is happening in the movie. All the characters are just. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Why is nothing happening? Poor guy. I hate that man. That looked almost like they were about to redo the scene where they see the dinosaurs and act all surprised. It's like they just had their memory wiped or whatever. The way that the guy put on his hat, I don't know. I don't think he did put on a hat in the original scene though. What am I even talking about? But anyway, that guy in the black vest, I thought that he was going to be my least favorite character. I think he's my favorite character so far, actually. I just got news that we're getting a new right side mirror for our car after I broke the mirror. Which, to be fair, someone else had already kind of damaged it when they drove into a chain that they didn't see. It's like the very first thought that came through my mind when the mirror broke was, well, at least it was already damaged. Good thing it wasn't the left one. But hey, we got a new mirror now, so whatever. Hieroglyphic, what the heck? It's a field with a weird gray and red boat thing or whatever. What is this guy doing? How did he know that it was definitely going to go the other way, though? It could have gone the same way. Especially if the car like jolted or something, the water drop could have gone right at the roof, and you'd been like, "Look, see, it changed again because of the variations in your skin." Well, the car's automatic, I assume. I guess that's why there's the line on the floor. They don't even have to drive. I mean, yeah, poor guy, but like at the same time, one of your crew did just leave the car. Do you want to go and check on him? So when did the dinosaurs get loose and start killing people? Did they actually kill anyone? I think they do. I think they killed the clever girl person. What was that? What was that a can of? I don't even know. This looks like a clip of Jurassic Park 3. I only have one memory of Jurassic Park 3, actually two, and it's of the original cast crossing a bridge, and it's of them in a tree watching dinosaurs hatch from another tree or something like that. I don't know. But I think the other tree was really far away, so unless they had like extreme binoculars, I'm not sure how that worked. Probably a faint false memory. I don't know. The girl, I can't help but feel that that's like a bad outfit to have on when, oh my God, it's a dead Triceratops. I feel like it's a bad outfit to have on when you're going to be brushing yourself up against plants that could potentially contaminate you with something. But I guess it is like hot outside. She's sick, right? I completely forgot that all these guys are female. It's like it's weird because it's like, like so many people say that like say we look at dinosaurs or we look at bees and we think they all look the same. At the same time, that's probably what they think of us. They probably if they even if they had human intelligence, maybe it would be like they could tell the differences between each other, but they wouldn't be able to tell the difference between us humans. Especially if we like, they might be able to tell with the difference in our clothes, but like if they was literally just a human, probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Because it took me ages to tell the difference between faces. I think I talked about that before. Like when I watched Doctor Who: The Idiot's Lantern, I could only tell that that was Rose's face in the TV because she was mouthing Doctor and because of the way the music was playing, and I figured it must have been her for dramatic effect. She's gonna heal the dinosaur? Oh, okay, so she's not dead. Touching a dinosaur. Maybe able to let it like rise and the breathing. Oh. What the hell? Like, so this guy has a character arc of learning compassion, essentially. What the hell? I wonder how they filmed this. Like, is that like that must be like a prop or something? Oh yeah, kids, just to let you know, I don't think that they actually cloned the dinosaurs for the movie. I don't like if you didn't know that, then probably you didn't even know that movies aren't actually real most of the time, unless it's a documentary. Didn't mean to be crapping on your childhood or anything like that. I remember once when I was in a classroom and I was talking. So we were talking about if Santa Claus was real or not, and everyone was ridiculing me for saying that it's possible for Santa Claus to be real. Like, like even though it's almost definitely not real, and even though almost definitely he's just some guy that we made up, it's still possible. It's possible that he's real. It's like, the classic, you can't prove that something doesn't exist. Is that freaking Nick Fury? Samuel L. Jackson, whatever. But anyway, so I was talking about how it's possible that Santa Claus could be real. And then the principal comes in and starts ranting in my face, thinking that I'm the one saying that Santa Claus definitely isn't real, saying that if I ended up ruining a child's childhood who just happened to be passing by saying that Santa Claus wasn't real, then I would always be in her black books. Like, mate, I was the one saying that Santa Claus could be real. What the hell? Of course, none of the other students came to back me up because they were the ones that should have actually been yelled at. What's tenacious? Where's my phone? Where can I look up what tenacious means? Here it is. Put it behind me. What's this guy doing? Do they have a plan? Are they trying to kill them with the dinosaurs? News story. Christopher Eccleston proudly presents his first big Finish script. I mean, not really. He didn't really look that proud in the picture, if I'm being honest. He looked a bit tired. I don't know. Tenacious. Tending to keep a firm hold of something, clinging or adherently closely. What? I swear once when my cat got outside, I ran to go rescue him, and then I swear like lightning struck just where he was standing. I swear, I turned around and there was like a lightning bolt like right there. Maybe it was just an illusion and it looked like it was right where we were standing, but I swear. It's like the time when I was 6 years old, and you know those very ancient cars that had like no brakes and looked like a horse carriage without the horse? I swear I saw one of them rolling down the streets. Just whenever you see something, especially as a kid, that's unlikely and you didn't get it filmed, like no one believes you. It's a classic Phineas and Ferb problem. Yeah, I love a soda. I remember when I was I wasn't in Australia. I think I was actually rather close. It was like some weird family gathering, and I just happened to actually be like the closest person to where we were gathering, because of course I was. And they were like cousins over in Australia, and we were like staying at their cottage or whatever. It was like we were at our own camper, but we would go over to their cottage every single day. And every single time that I was there, they would always greet me by asking if I wanted a root beer or a Pepsi. That was the life, I tell you. Why is there a big red button that says execute that shows a zebra? What is that? A zebra and a lion? Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. Let's forget that we saw that. What was I looking up again? Right, Samuel Jackson's filmography. Samuel L. Jackson. What does the L stand for? Samuel Leroy Jackson. I feel like I've heard that before, the Leroy. What? God, why does every movie have to have racist and sexist stuff? Even today, Even today, and it's not just stereotypes. And like now, they're going overboard with the white male stereotypes. It's like men. Did you guys see the Superman Red Sun animated movie? I haven't, but I saw little clips from it. And every time that Wonder Woman is on screen, she's just talking about how bad and cruel men are. Like, thanks, Wonder Woman. Happy to know that one of the supposedly most influential female superheroes ever is saying that the entire male race should go screw itself. I know that it is like an alternate universe dystopia, but like, come on. Like, even Superman, like, even though Superman was essentially evil in that timeline, he was still good and trying to do the right thing, and that's what ultimately defeated him in the end. That's like Wonder Woman was just completely whatever. He was in a movie called Juice, made in 1992, and his role was Trip. He played the Trip. Reminded me of the Celestial Toymaker when I was talking about. For episodes 2 and 3, William Hartnell was on vacation, so this one guy just played the doctor's hand. And I remember my dad burst out laughing when I said that. Could you imagine having the role of playing the main character's hand? Like, but it's not just your hand is pretending to be his hand. Imagine if you actually had like some sort of suit, pl like playing a guy's hand. Like, never mind. Here he is, Jurassic Park. He's playing the role of John Ray Arnold. I assume that's the guy that I was just talking about. What is that? Is that what Pepsi used to look like back in the day? I remember when I saw Pepsi in Back to the Future, and it got me obsessed with the different labels of Pepsi and Diet Pepsi before I discovered Google Images and realized you could just research that kind of stuff. He was in a movie called Teens and Guns Preventing Violence, and he played himself, but that movie doesn't even have a page. He's in Star Wars Episode 2. Oh yeah, he played the guy with the purple lightsaber, surely, right? I think. I don't know. 1408. Here we go. African Cats. He played the narrator. I got all these MCU movies where he plays Nick Fury. Incredibles 2. Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. Oh, he played Mace Windu's voice. Okay. Spider-Man Far From Home. He plays Nick Fury and Talos as Nick Fury. It'll be interesting to see how they do Black Panther 2 now the lead actor is dead. Like, did they film anything with him? Like, is it going to be like another Leia situation from Rise of Skywalker? Like, is he even going to be in the movie at all? Like, or are they going to manage to pull off some sort of final end with the footage they have? I don't know. Is this guy gonna die? Does he die? I think he does die. Because I do remember also a scene where a guy's in the car and then he looks over into the passenger seat and then sees a dinosaur with the weird fan head. I remember like my dad would like kind of scream playfully every time that he saw that, trying to make light of the situation because I was a very sensitive kid who was scared of everything. You know, they say I roasted myself. Not the East Dock sign. How do you even know the arrow's facing the right way? Just have it point downward. Who cares? Yeah, sure. Just spin it. Probably be more accurate, honestly. The movie Jurassic Park being preserved for future generations. Look at this shot of just the guy's hand on the keyboard. Oh, I remember this too. I hate this hacker crap. I just knew that line because the subtitles was right there. Smoking a cigarette. Some of my coworkers where I work now, like they would say, like, I'm just going out for a quick smoke. And I didn't think that they were actually smoking cigarettes. I thought there was like some sort of code for bathroom, even though, I guess like it'd be more weird to say that. I don't know. Turns out they're actually smoking cigarettes. I feel bad for them. Sometimes I just see them as I'm leaving. They offered to take out the garbage, and I see them take out the garbage and then just kind of sit outside the door just smoking. I don't really know what to do. They seem happy and hardworking, and they seem like fine. I don't really know if I should like say something or what I would say. I don't know. Goggles. I was wondering what that's. It's just my phone alarm. It goes off at noon almost every day just to remind me, you know. Well, it's actually to remind me of. I won't say it. We'll just pretend that it's like just to remind me that if I haven't woken up by noon, I should wake up now. Yeah, I remember. It wasn't there like in Dino Dan or Dino Dan's Trek's Adventures. They had glasses. Maybe they were inspired by those goggles. But it was so weird because it had quote unquote three visions. And by that I mean normal vision, flashlight vision, and night vision. But really, the only one that was actually cool was night vision because it was like the classic, everything goes green and then you can see things that you wouldn't normally see. Normal vision is literally just goggles that don't do anything. You might as well just have your normal eyesight. Your goggles will probably make you see less than more. And then flashlight vision was literally just a flashlight turns on. Oh, I remember this, but this part's iconic too. You see the water slightly shaking because you know that there's a dinosaur coming. Even that guy can sense it. Jump scare any minute now. Any second now. Any millisecond now. Yeah, because where were the dinosaurs? Did they get loose? Are they breeding now? The all-female species? Life finding a way to get into the car and kill all the humans? That's a bad idea. Dinosaurs just gonna come out at full speed. This must have been awkward to watch in the theater. It's gonna be up above. Ugh. Yeah, I was gonna say, are they just gonna look up and see the dinosaur? That must have been weird to film. They're just like, yeah, just throw it on the car. It'll be like a huge jump scare in the movie. There it is. Oh, okay, you know what to do. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Shh. Okay, they're gonna die. Well, that guy's dead. So, Doctor Who Invasion of the Dinosaurs, the guy's like, don't worry, it's not gonna eat me. It's a vegetarian. Anyone who watches Jurassic Park thinks that all dinosaurs just eat people, even though Invasion of the Dinosaurs came out first. Oh my god, the dinosaur's gonna rip off the roof there, and he's gonna die, technically while on the toilet. Embarrassing death. Why is it always the cowardly people who get the... it's never women, though. It's always when it's a cowardly male character, then they die like an idiot. Like, why aren't they just shown support? Like when a cowardly female character, the damsel in distress. Why don't men get to be the damsel in distress? Even though I know damsel I think is a feminine term. But yeah, just don't move, and everything will be okay as long as the dinosaur just doesn't accidentally fall upon you. Yeah, me too. I hate being right all the time, especially when my theory is that bad stuff is gonna happen. You would hate being wrong all the time if it meant bad stuff kept happening too. Bubble wrap. Pop it, it'll make you feel better, as long as the dinosaur doesn't hear it. I'm not sure if you guys could hear that. It was me sipping a milkshake. We'll just pretend it was part of the dinosaur's growl. Don't scream. Shine it right in his eyes and make it blind. Oh, you idiot. That's how you die. Isn't there a movie like called The Mist or whatever? I feel like there might be a scene like this in there. Oh dear. The flashlight is moving slightly though. Is the dinosaur just gonna casually rip off the roof of the car? I feel like the girl's gonna be the one to scream, but of course she makes it out alive because she's a girl. She's allowed to be freaked out. And oh, the dinosaur's gonna casually knock the car. Oh, there we go. She screamed. The dinosaur's just like, I feel like something's here, and then finally thinks to touch the area. There we go. Normally, when people are looking for something that might be invisible, it's to they the first thing that they do is try to feel around or whatever, or bump into it or whatever. That might make them look like an idiot if there's nothing there. That's cool though. They're holding the glass roof to stop the dinosaur from killing him. Meanwhile, they're just casually in the safe car. Just knock the car over, and then the kids will be safe, and you probably won't find them. Hopefully. There we go. Uh-oh. I was gonna say the dinosaur gonna step on the car and just kill the kids like that. Does he like the taste of car? Yeah. Reminds me of that scene in Spy Kids 4 when the guy's just eating the videotape. Like, bleh. Stop. If that movie ever did get put into the National Film Registry, I vote that at least that scene should be cut. Even though, you should always be able to see the original theatrical, theoretical version of something. Or you could be like this guy. Yeah, didn't he, she dubs, like how it should have ended, just do a he, she dubs for Jurassic Park or something like that? Uh, okay, what part of freeze did you not understand? This time you're not very right. Okay, but he is running away, okay. Why don't you just hang on to it? Reminds me, there's a Jungle Book show. No, here's where the guy dies. Oh, I thought it would rip off the roof. Oh, I think it will. Just later. Oh, okay, there we go. That's awkward. This must be a meme somewhere. Someone must have tried to make a meme out of this. God damn it. He's already dead. Just end his suffering. I feel I've seen in Ice Age 3 where Sid's like, I'm too young to be eaten. But what was I saying again? I was saying, frick, I can't remember. Oh yeah, there was a Jungle Book show, and in it, the kid uses a stick with fire. Like he finally uses like fire on a stick to scare away Shere Khan. But then eventually, like he goes into the water because he doesn't realize that water puts out fire. And then my dad was like laughing so much at that. He finally just like kind of waves the stick around and then just casually does it in the water, and then the fire completely goes out. It's like his first time that he realizes that water and fire don't really mix. It's a funny scene though, because he's just in the water waving the stick around, not really realizing that if it touches the water, it'll go out. And then he's just kind of bragging to Shere Khan, but then the moment that he dips it in the water, it goes out. He's like, oh, didn't know that would happen. But again, like that doesn't mean that he's dumb. It just meant that he didn't know. I gotta head somewhere soon. So even though it's a very dramatic moment, it is. Okay, hang on. I'll just be right back. Okay. Stopping now. Whoa. There we go. All right. Back. Okay, what the heck is happening? I watched like between the last clip and now I watched like he she dubs version of this up until this point. What is even happening here? Or are they trying to climb up? Oh, okay. Wait, sorry. I thought that for a moment it was like the car was what was holding them up, and they were trying desperately to climb up the wall with that rope attached to the car. But every time that they were trying to pull themselves up, they were also slightly pulling the car down, and it was a matter of them having to make it over the wall before the car tumbles over. 2 million what? I thought for a moment he said gas leak. I was like, what the hell? So Okay, so is he going to be sacrificed to go and save his kids while she's probably going to survive because she's a main character or whatever? Why doesn't Nick Fury get to go? Nick Fury would never die. I remember, spoilers for Avengers Infinity War if you somehow don't know what happens in that movie. But, sorry, my phone alarm just went off. Man. Uh, But I remember when I was watching the post-credit scene, because I had already seen the movie in theaters a couple times, but I was just going to go see it again. And when in the post-credit scene, when Maria Hill, I think is her name, died, and Nick Fury ran to go get the communicator thing, someone behind me said, "Nick Fury never dies. How come he never dies?" And I was like, "Oh boy, just wait a few seconds." They didn't react at all when he actually did get dusted, probably just in shock or just like, "Oh, okay." And poor this guy. Is he like the stereotypical fat character, whatever? But in the He dubs, it was mentioned that apparently he's the bad guy. Is that supposed to be a twist or something? I assume you're supposed to watch the movie before the He dubs, because I was like, oh shoot, is that a spoiler? Because I didn't know this guy was the bad guy. I thought he was just the stereotypical overweight guy who just gets in a lot of trouble and nothing ever goes his way or whatever. Because haha, that's supposed to be funny in 1993. He's not the one who says clever girl. Wait, isn't the guy who went to go and get the gas jeep? I think that he's the clever girl guy. Oh, whatever. Ooh. Hey there, bud. Is that a velociraptor? Because didn't they say like, oh, we're in the Jurassic world? They're like, oh, we're making a mixture between T-Rex and Velociraptor, and they're like, that's dumb. You're dumb. He, she dubs, please stop using the "that's dumb, you're dumb" joke in every single video you make. The joke isn't funny anymore. At least I don't find it funny anymore. Wait, doesn't he like activate a fan head? Then again, that wouldn't really be scary. Like a fan comes out of the back of his head or whatever. It's not really scary though. I'm in an uncomfortable position on the sofa. I'm like lying down. I'm not sure if I'm ready for a jump scare right now. That wouldn't even work on Smudge. What? He's not extinct because he won't chase after a freaking stick? I wonder if the meteorite didn't hit, if dinosaurs would have ever gone out on their own. It's like asking the question if the. Oh, there it is. There it is. I was gonna say it's like asking if the vaccine never comes. How long would? Okay, never mind. I gotta stop bringing that up. Yeah, what was that? Is that some venom? That's not really scary though. It's just kind of freaky. Okay, was that poisonous venom? Is he about to die now? Yeah. And then isn't the Velociraptor just in the passenger seat? What the hell is that? What is that? What was it? Velociraptor spray, like bear spray? I wonder if bear spray just happens to work on other things. Bear spray can't be exclusively for bears. Yeah, that's creepy. That is really scary. Uh, Imagine if that was his blood. That would have been a little bit overkill. Wait, what is that? So that's foreshadowing? Okay, sorry that I keep on breathing into the microphone. I just want to make sure that I'm loud enough that you guys can actually hear me, but every time that I have the microphone super close to my mouth, I just keep on breathing into it. Why is there a car in the tree? How the heck did that happen? Oh, wait, that's the one that fell over the wall earlier. Okay. Are you referring to the guy on the toilet? Because I think he's dead. There's so many movies out now. I swear to God. Like Shrek 2 was apparently the third highest grossing movie when it came out, and now it doesn't even crack the top 50. Good old Avengers Endgame had to get re-released to crack number one. Although I think Avatar was re-released too with an extra budget of $9 billion or something. 9 million, sorry. 9 billion is a bit much. It's like $10 billion for the rights of Spider-Man when they were 10 million like a decade ago because Spider-Man's so popular now. Who was that? Oh, is that the boy? Like the kid? I threw up. Okay. Honestly, yeah, honestly, that's not the worst that could have happened. You look really wounded though. I doubt if you get beat up in high school from now on, it's gonna feel like nothing. It's like I was trying to be the what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Did he accidentally steer the wheel? Yeah, I've learned to drive now. I've mastered how to drive a manual car. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already. If I have, then this probably sounds stupid. But yeah, so and one of the things that is really like annoying to do is when like you kind of get yourself into a dead end, so you have to do the awkward 3 point turn thing, which ends up being more of a 9 point turn because you have to constantly back up and then turn the other way and go forward and then turn the other way and back up and turn the other way and blah 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 until you finally have enough room to make the full turn. I broke the right mirror on my car. It's okay, we're getting it fixed. We have duct tape over it for now. I have the piece, but it turns out that we can't glue it on or whatever. Oh, I thought that was going to be the Velociraptor. The car is going to fall and it's going to be like, well, thank God I found you when I did. I am the hero of this story. Saved you at last minute. That's how we know that you're a hero. This is what confirms that you are a hero if you manage to save someone right before they die. Imagine if there are like situations where it's like they are about to die, but it's not like for a few hours, and it's not really apparent that they would have died, so you save them a bit early, and then it's never really apparent that you really saved their lives or whatever. Ooh, that's scary. That's scary. I probably have, but did I ever tell you about the time that I was 7 years old and me and my dad and my grandma, like me and my dad were in the truck and my grandma was going to get in to drive, but then she accidentally like released the parking brake or whatever, and then the truck started going and she was trying to reach in to try and get the car to stop. And then I, with my little tiny baby brain, knew because I had seen my parents driving the car before, I knew what was the brake pedal. So I just put my foot onto the brake pedal and just kept it there until grandma got in. And they insist that I apparently saved their lives, because apparently if I hadn't hit the brake, the truck would have rolled out onto the street where a car might have hit us right there, but if even if not, then we would have ended up rolling down this little incline with a bunch of branches that might have poked our eyes out. And after that is apparently a huge freaking cliff. So like, geez, I don't know. So yeah, I saved their lives. I saved Smudge's life from a lightning bolt. I saved a chipmunk's life. Well, that was with my grandpa's help. We were saving it from being eaten by Kylie, their dog. And I saved a pumpkin's life when it was going to get rolled over by a tractor. I just moved it out of the way. So yeah, I've gone from saving my dad, and my grandma's life to saving a pumpkin's life. So it kind of went downhill, but hey, all lives should matter. You see that little thing on Facebook where it's like, it's like Black Lives Matter, and it's like, oh, well, actually, all lives matter. And they're like, well, yeah, but like, we're just kind of bringing the apparentness to the Black Lives Matter thing because they're the ones in danger. It's like how saying, save, when people say save the trees, it's not like they're undermining saving everyone else. It's just that the trees are the ones that need the help right now. Ooh, he doesn't have his glasses on. Does he even need his glasses, or can he see? Or are his glasses in the mud? Where are his glasses? Oh, okay, the T-Rex is coming or whatever. That's how we know that a T-Rex is coming. It only ever works on T-Rexes. See, like, what if I was in a situation like this where I just had to drive then, and the police are like, "That's not an excuse. You should have been wearing your glasses." Blah blah blah. Sorry, I know that I rant about that in every single video multiple times, probably. That's funny. I like it when they play that joke. It's kind of overused, but it probably definitely wasn't at this time. Actually, I think Scaredy Squirrel played that joke, and that joke, and the like that little children's book series. And it's like, did that joke stem from this? The objects in mirror are closer than they appear, and the thing is like right there. I always thought how cool it would be if you were transported back in time, but you had a bus with you. That'd be cool. There'd be a lot of things you could do with that bus, Even if it ran out of gas, a bus is like kind of big. You could probably build it into a home if you're being honest. It's just it would probably be just one room to the next continuously in a line. Yeah, I remember once when I can't remember where, but me and my grandparents went on this little tour. Like it was weird. I think it was like in Saskatchewan even or something like that. I don't know, but like it was almost like a museum, but it took place in a guy's house. But it was really cool because it was almost like a haunted house ride. Not that it was scary or anything like that, or non-scary, but it was just like because we were just walking. There was like a set path. Like at one point, we went outside for a bit and then walked up the steps to go and see the second floor. But it was really interesting because it was like there was just one exit to the entire house. It was just the front door, I think. Or at least I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was just the front door. Maybe there was a back door by the steps. But as far as I was aware, it was just the front door leads to one room, and then you go into another room, and then you go into another room, and then you go into another room, and then there are stairs leading up to the second floor, which is kind of like a U-turn, and then it's just one room to another room to another room. So it's like if you were located in the furthest bedroom on the top floor, you would literally have to walk through every single room in the house just to get outside or at least every single room on the second floor. And that's just so weird because so many houses are now designed that you don't have to do that. You can just you can just walk out of the door because it's like, like on my house, for instance, you just walk past rooms, but you don't actually have to walk through them. And it's like the top floor has four rooms in it, but it's just you enter the stairs and then there are just, you can either go left or right or go forward and left and forward and right. But none of like, no matter what room you're in, you don't have to walk through the others. Imagine, like, having to walk through the bathroom. I think the bathroom might have, actually, that would have, I'm pretty sure that the last room in the house was a bedroom, but in that case, like, what about a bathroom? Like, do you really have to walk through a bathroom just to get outside? It's like, hey, can I go outside, or are you still using the bathroom? Maybe they had ladders outside the windows or whatever. So are these guys gonna walk across Brachiosaurus's necks or whatever? Just jump from one head to the other? Because I would totally do that. I probably die, but it's like do you ever have like those dreams where it's like suddenly you're on this weird roller coaster ride and it's like you feel really scared and it's like you end up getting so scared that you end up waking up, but in that little moment where you're in the dream and you're just kind of being bounced all over the place, like for my in my instance, I think it was like I was riding this weird cyan balloon thing on top of a swimming pool sort of thing. And it was just the balloon was going up and down and up and down. I was really worried that I was going to fall. And I didn't want to fall into the swimming pool because I had my cell phone in my pocket. And I didn't feel like there was ever a safe scenario for me to throw my cell phone onto the grass because there was a dog there. Sorry, that's really weird. I had that dream like years ago. I'm surprised I still remember it. According to Vsauce, we forget 95% of our dreams normally within like 10% of having them. Why'd they throw the T-Rex's claw away? That would have been good DNA for cloning. Oh, wait. This is the merchandise. The logo is in the movie again. The logo is just everywhere. It's like they have a gazillion product placements for their own movie. I wonder if any of those devices like actually exist in the real world. You know, like just for the heck of it. Or maybe they are useful. Or maybe they're just fan stuff. Like, you know how Back to the Future 2, they went out of their way to try and reenact those self-tying shoes, even though they're really slow to operate? But they just made them for the sake of the movie. Like without a shadow of a doubt, they wouldn't have been made without Back to the Future 2. You know, I wonder, maybe if Back to the Future 2 wasn't made, maybe we would have had a whole bunch of the inventions in Back to the Future 2 that we didn't get. But it's just because that movie was made that like a whole bunch of people were thinking, nah, that's not possible, so they didn't even bother. But who knows? Like maybe Back to the Future 2 existing as a movie actually did a lot more harm to the future than good, you know? Because a lot of people joke about how they got about like half of the predictions right. Like we have Skype now. According to them, they apparently always knew that they weren't going to have flying cars in 2015, but they just kind of had to have them in the movie. And yeah, you could argue that, well, technically, you know, you could have just said that Doc got the hover conversion even further into the future, but then, you know, that would have kind of felt like a bit of a ripoff. I think I mentioned this before, but like, you know how at the end he gets a flying train? Some people think that for some reason Doc was able to make the train fly himself, like back in the 1800s, even though no, like there's no way. Like he says, nope, I've already been there to the future, and then the train that so it's obviously implying that they got the hover conversion. But then everyone thinks that he got the hover conversion in 2015 as well. Like, unless if he upgraded it himself, I highly doubt that when we figure out how to make flying cars, we're going to have to figure out how to make flying trains as well. I'm pretty sure that it's going to take like a few extra steps in order to figure out how to make trains fly. And once we make trains fly, it kind of just defeats the whole purpose of a train and a bus being different. What are these guys even talking about? I'm not really paying attention to the movie. I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is. Apparently, everyone else loves this movie, but personally, I don't really find it that. I don't know. Like I guess it's just the dinosaur thing that everyone's obsessed with. And there are some good lines in it, like the I can't really remember any at the moment. The because we can line, life finds a way. I I also kind of like that line, even though it's a bit sexist. But like, I remember my parents finding it funny. The whole I was thinking about it on my way to work yesterday. The whole God creates dinosaurs, God destroys dinosaurs, God creates man, man destroys God, man creates dinosaurs, dinosaurs eat man, woman inherits the earth. Like what the hell? Like, that's implying that just women were there all the time. It is weird though how we have the words like mankind and we just refer to all of humanity as man. But it's like, yeah, it is kind of weird to think about. Because arguably, you could argue that it should be woman and womankind because the word man is already in woman, but the word woman is not in. You know what I'm saying? Kind of reminds me of that. What was it? What was it? Like, there's an ant in every giant, and there's a giant in every ant, implying that, you know, if you take it from a literal standpoint, you could say that the word ant is in giant, but not the other way around. I was trying to say that, you know, brachiosauruses are wusses. because they only eat plants, and ants can lift a gazillion times their own body weight. It is interesting to think about how, like, where like if ants were our size, then they could lift like cars and stuff like that. Because of it's just because they're so small that we don't realize how strong they actually are. Because they can lift a gazillion times their own body weight. And it's like how freaking Captain Underpants of all books, I think it was in book 10 or book 9, no, it was in book 10 where they mentioned that if you shrink an elephant down to the size of a tortoise, chances are the elephant's probably slower than the freaking tortoise. It's just because it's so big that it normally manages to cover more ground. The brachiosaurus, like cows, yeah. Not bulls, though. Bulls are the male version of cows, and they are evil. What am I even talking about? Brachiosaurus just eats her. Yes, there we go. I like that. That's what you get for being such a coward. I didn't mean to be so cruel there. It's just like I mentioned before, like, a guy acts cowardly and he gets eaten while on the toilet. So it makes sense that she gets a little bit, whatever. I'm a hacker? Oh God. Wait, did they all die? Or did they hatch? Okay, he looks happy, so I assume that they hatched. Oh yeah. Unless they got those eggs from the lab somehow. And the guy with the glasses said that life finds a way. He even said that he's always right and he hates it. Amphibian DNA. And frogs. And frogs. Oh. Yeah, isn't it something like clownfish? When the females die, the male changes to female and just mates with the next male in line. The Honest Trailer said that or whatever. When making fun of Finding Nemo. How dare you make fun of Finding Nemo? I haven't seen Finding Nemo in ever. All that I can remember is that the dentist scared me. There was like a French book, and there was just a picture casually in there that was meant to make you laugh, but it's just a dentist kind of casually yanking out all the teeth of a patient, and it just terrified me as a kid. I was like, it just felt like such a tonal whiplash. Like it's such a child-friendly book on how to learn French, and then suddenly there's that picture in there. Probably if I saw it now, I wouldn't think much of it. I'd just see it as the comical picture that it's meant to be, but it's just it terrified me as a kid. It is weird though, because it's like, there have been okay, I don't really know how to say this. I don't really know how to say this because I feel like it's gonna weird out anyone who hears me say it. Or maybe it won't, I don't know. But it's just like there have been like a couple of guys who have said like, "Hey, do you want to go on a date or something?" And I was just like I felt really bad because I was just saying like, "I'm sorry, it's just because I'm I believe I'm straight, I think. I don't know. Like, it's just like I feel so bad to say like, no, it's because that you're a guy that I don't want to go out with you. I feel like that goes against my desire for gender equality and stuff like that. But they normally understand and they're normally fine with it. I'm trying to as if I'm like grouping them together. But But yeah, like I was always thinking, like, I wish that say I could become a girl or they could become a girl, and that way then it could have been cool. But apparently that idea weirds out everyone else. Like if a guy suddenly becomes a girl, a straight guy would still be weirded out by them or whatever, or straight girls or whatever. Did I tell you there was a guy on a walk who said like I think I did mention it, but like he says how like every single human in the entire world, males and females alike, are attracted to young females or whatever. And it's like, sure, bud. But apparently, like in a study, more girls have said that they were heterosexual than males. Like it was like something like 97 point something percent of females were heterosexual and only like 96 point something of males were. And like the next biggest group of them are, and but I think like there are more bisexual males than there are bisexual females as well. I don't know, it's really weird. What the frick? Wait, why are they not running from that? Oh, okay. It's because they're going the other way. I was like, there was just a group of little cause. Damn it! What's the Dino Dan thing with the little feathers? Hang on, I'm gonna search up list of Dino Dan dinosaurs. Well, they're tinier than you. Just kick their butt. Isn't there a website like Vison said? There's a website where you can type in information about you and it tells you how many 5-year-olds you could fight. Okay, these guys are gonna have to run. They're obviously coming their way. Why are you smiling, man? Oh, okay, never mind. They're a bit bigger than you. Okay, if they were gonna kill you, they'd already be dead. There's no way that you're ahead of them. There we go. See, they're just kind of moving you out of the way. I I I think I saw The Lion King when I was really, really young. I barely remember anything from it, but I remember there was a scene where like because Disney movies would always scare me as a kid. I'll probably talk about it more when we get to them, but it was like there was a scene where a bunch of the animals were like, whoa, where a bunch of the animals were running in a Jesus. Where a bunch of the animals were running in a stampede, but they were bothering to go out of the way for the lion cub, and I was like, why are they moving out of the way? And my mom was just like, well, I think because they know that he's the next king in line, who just supposedly killed his dad or whatever. I don't know. Jeez, I forgot about all these Dino Dan dinosaurs. Because now there's like a whole bunch of spin-offs to that show. They got Dino Dan Trek's Adventures and Dino Dana or whatever. It is like meant for like really, really little kids. You probably can't get that much out of it if you're already an adult. Just be sitting there, ashamed of what you're doing with your life. Okay, so clearly I shouldn't feel that bad for not knowing the name of the dinosaur because I'm going into Google Images and I can't find the dinosaur that I'm talking about anywhere. It was so weird, Dino Dan, though, because they made all these dinosaurs, and then they released a bunch of toys, and in the toys they released a bunch more dinosaurs, like the Velociraptor and stuff, ones that I guess they couldn't afford the CGI to have in an actual episode. But then when they made the two spin-offs, they just kept on adding more and more and more, and yet to this day I don't think they've added any of the toy exclusive ones. Maybe it's like some sort of stupid rights issues or something, I don't know. Okay, I'm pretty sure the dinosaur that I'm thinking about started with C. Oh, how do you say that? Damn it, how do you pronounce that? Cosmosognathus. How do you pronounce it? Cosmonothus? Okay, okay, a YouTube video. How to pronounce whatever. Cosmognathus? Cosmonothus? Cosmonothus. That sounds familiar. Cosmonothus. That doesn't ring. It rings a bell in the show, but I never would have guessed that that's how you say it. I thought it was like Cosmoceratops or something, but Cosmoceratops are like Triceratops, but cooler. If I type in Cosmoceratops, I have a feeling that like one of the top 10 is going to be from there. It is, yeah, from Dino Dan right there. What dinosaur are real good? Whoa, Cosmoceratops starts with a K. I didn't know that. I thought it was a C. Cosmonautus. I have a little book that I should show you guys where it's like we went on this little dino tour thing. It was cool though. It's like this guy like had this huge yard. And there's just this path that you could follow with all these different animals. It was really cool. I'll show you the book someday. I doubt that I get in any trouble because it is cool to be there as well. And I think that he said that he was adding more. I wonder how he's doing in this pandemic. I remember when I showed up at the for the second time at that place, and I was like, "Do you recognize me?" And he was like, "No, sorry." And my mom had to explain to me, like, there are a lot of people who come here, so we can't remember, like, every single person who shows up. Oh, this is the clever girl, right? This guy is 100% the guy who says the clever girl line. Just the way that he's talking, I can tell. Because saying, like, the dinosaur, like, tricks them into going one way when in reality they come and attack from the side or whatever. Why is she running for her life? Wait, did I miss something? Why is she scared to go into the basement? Why is she hesitating now? It's 20 or 30 feet. Like, whenever I'm in a car and it's like a GPS is like, in 600 meters, turn left, I'm like, okay, I assume that means take the next left, unless if, like, the left is right there, in which case I assume it's take the one after that. Because how the frick am I supposed to calculate how long 600 meters is? I've never placed down a meter stick and counted one, two, three, all the way up to 600, and then memorized exactly how long that was so that I could imagine. I guess it's just something that you get used to, you know? Like after you drive a few times, you eventually get the hang of it. Okay, this is where he fakes getting electrocuted. I remember when I first watched this, it was so weird. I think when I first watched this, though, I knew that he must have been faking it, because you know that he's not going to die. That's Yeah, it's not funny as like in the movie, though. Then again, pretty much most comedy isn't really funny because it's like, isn't it like, laughter is stemmed by a release of stress. I think my dad was the one who really broke it down to me, is that we laugh when we're like kind of letting go of stress as a result of seeing someone else go through a failure that we didn't do. Although sometimes we laugh just out of stress in general. But it's like that's just an interesting thing to think about how, because he described it as if we're running from a bear, like the classic joke where it's like, running from a bear, and then he's like, there are two guys and there's a bear coming after them, and then one of the guys quickly changes into his running shoes, and then the other guy goes, "What are you trying to do? You can't outrun a bear." And he's like, "I can't, I don't have to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you." So, yeah, it was a really funny joke back in the day. I remember once we used to joke about what funny last words would be. Because we watched the Doctor dances from Doctor Who Series 1 where the Ninth Doctor says, like, go to your room, and he's like, that would have been terrible last words. And we used to joke about what would have been fun. My dad's favorite one was, do you think there are any bears in this cave? I I I was a kid, so I was a bit stupid, and one of my ideas was I did the motion of petting like a cat or a dog or something, and then I just went, "So what were you saying about the little animals with brown and white stripes again?" And my dad laughed along. I don't think it was that funny, but my dad laughed along because, I was a kid trying to join in. My dad's a really good dad. What's large and flat and gray? Wait, what? Well, you have to lift it 4 times. It's like a combination code. Were you supposed to put it back down? Oh, okay. I thought that alarm was electrocuting the fence right when he like came off the fence. It was like, holy crap. Oh, okay. Well, thank goodness it's the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you're both gonna die. Ooh. Ooh. There was no way that he actually caught him. That guy was right next to the fence. I thought he was gonna die. Or just barely survive or something, or go into a coma. Oh, okay, he did die. Makes sense. So he got frickin' electrocuted. It's such a weird thing to experience when you're watching movies as a kid, like emotion, because when you're a kid, you can get really emotional. But it's like, I think I remember when I was a kid, it was like, it was kind of traumatizing to see her being happy after she just it's a dead guy. Oh, whoa, Jesus Christ. Okay, but I remember, like, as a kid, it's so weird and a bit traumatizing to see her being so happy after she just unknowingly electrocuted a kid, or really anyone. But then you kind of feel a bit better about it once you see her being scared of the stupid dinosaur. It's like, yeah, that's what you get after doing all that crap. It makes you wonder, though, like, when you're thinking, like, why did this happen to me? What did I do? Well, maybe you did something and it was completely unknowing. It's like the good place. Like, does she deserve to be considered, like, was turning on that electrocuting fence considered an immoral act, even though she didn't even know that she was endangering? Well, I mean, like, clearly she knew that she was endangering dinosaurs, so there's that too. Here it is. It's like I've been waiting for this line forever. Just freaking say it already. Or do we still have to set the joke up or something? I have no idea how guns work, but if you're a gun expert, I assume that's like, wow, this movie really knows how guns work and how to load one. Damn. Yeah, you couldn't even have shot it then. It's like how in Justice League, we were really looking forward to that scene where the actor who played Jimmy Olsen in the original Superman movies, he was going to come back just as a random police officer, and then Cyborg was going to blow up that tank and say, "You should probably move." But then that scene was cut from the final film, and everyone was saying #release the Snyder Cut, and then Mr. Sunday Movies joked about how they should release the "You should probably move" cut, which is the exact same movie. It's just that scene is included. And it's like, imagine people going to the theater just to see that. So the whole point that they're going to see it is to see a "You should probably move" scene. It's like, in which case, imagine if that didn't show up, the fans would riot. But also, imagine when that scene finally does come, because the people are just sitting in the theater, they don't care about the rest of the movie. They're just there for that scene. And when the scene finally does come, they all just shout, "Yeah, we got the scene that we paid for." Lex? The kid's name Lex? Does he grow up to be Lex Luthor? He's got similar hair, even though Lex is supposed to be bald in the movie. Cake. So much cake. Well, I'd say these kids deserve it, after all they just went through. Oh, was a dinosaur trapped in the room with them? Or is it the Jello's moving? Oh, the dinosaur's behind him. This is cool though, because the movie is starting to kind of amp up the stakes. I think I'm also just kind of a tad bit bored because, I've kind of, you know, blame it on the pandemic for pandemic podcast. Well, blame it on the pandemic has just kind of just put us through everything, and now it's just like anything else is just like, you know what? Sure. Did I mention like we're supposed to wear goggles at work now, which beats a freaking face shield? I'm not wearing a stupid face shield. I'll wear your stupid goggles, but I can't even see through a face shield. It's just like when I was driving home, it's like like for some reason the passenger door, like you can't unlock all the doors from the passenger door side. Maybe the button's broken or something, or maybe it's just designed that way. But why would you even have the button there if you couldn't even unlock the doors? And it's just like Okay, and then like I dropped my goggles onto the floor and I was like, I don't care about your well-being goggles. I hope you break on the ride home. Even though I don't think that there were any goggles there, because the next day I tried to get a pair of goggles for someone else who couldn't wear a face shield, but whatever. She just ended up not wearing anything. I mean, she wore a mask, obviously. I was on a weird group thing, and a guy was like, "Why don't we just take our masks off? I won't tell anyone so that I can actually hear each other." And I was all for it, but I couldn't really say anything because then everyone else calls me a maniac. My aunt even told me, like, "I don't want you contacting me if you're not going to wear a mask." Like, Jesus Christ, calm down. You can't judge someone's moral compass based on how they're acting during a freaking traumatizing end of the world crap. Most boring apocalypse ever. Yeah, I remember as a kid, you're so sensitive to noise, and yet you get criticized for it. Like we were having a group meeting and they just glossed back the fire alarm and I tried to bring it back and I was like, back to the fire alarm, and the principal was like, nope, we're past that. And I tried to raise my hand again and she was like, Kyler, just don't worry about it or whatever. I don't know. It's weird. It looks almost like the dinosaur can see them directly. I would almost call it bad acting, but obviously this must be CGI or something. Oh, is that a Troodon? Because in Dinosaur Train, the conductor's a Troodon talking about smartest dinosaurs or whatever, and also their weird claw thing. Or is it a I can't remember the name, but the freaking Democrat. I don't know. Dino Dan is so cringy. Even as a kid, I would be cringing because like Dino Dan does a whole bunch of experiments and he tries to see if this one dinosaur is faster than a horse, so he uses a speedometer or whatever police use to check the measurement, the speed of cars or whatever, and he uses it on a horse and sees it's 40 miles an hour or whatever, and therefore assumes that all horses must be that speed. And then he checks the other dinosaur and he's like, it's going like 40, I think it was exactly 40. And he's like, that's as fast as a horse. It's like, yeah, no crap, it's as fast as a horse. It's the only thing you measured the speed of before testing his own speed. So it's not like all horses would go the same speed. And it's not like they would go exactly 40. I wonder how scientists are able to tell that they go 40 kilometers an hour. If scientists are able to analyze dinosaur bones and the way that they were buried and the way they were positioned and all that, and the way their bodies seemed to work, and then therefore be able to calculate exactly how fast they were able to go, then just imagine like how much we could able to tell. Like no crap we could clone dinosaurs from a single bit of blood in a mosquito thing, even though the DNA was probably degraded by that point. Okay, sorry, I was trying to find the when I type in Dino Dan and then I say D, it's just like Dino Dan dinosaurs. Okay. DDD. I'm not looking for an Edmontosaurus. I don't even have to check the picture to see that. Here we go. What is this? The dinosaur is in the frame, but what's the name of this dinosaur? Because in Dinosaur Train, they're always just like, they say Troodons are the smartest dinosaurs, but they say it every freaking episode. Just like, oh, hey, kids, it's really important for you to know that Troodons are the smartest dinosaurs. Just in case if you keep forgetting. We're going to mention it in every freaking episode until you get it cemented in your memory that Troodons are the smartest dinosaurs. Okay, dinosaur names is what I'm going to Google. Now here we are watching Jurassic Park, but the dinosaur's about to literally eat people, and I'm trying desperately to find the name of this one dinosaur from a stupid kid show. Whoa, what is this? Dino Dan Dinopedia. I guess that's the wiki. What plot sequels? What is this a movie? Oh wait. Oh no, this is the show. Okay. Well, where's the list of dinosaurs? Okay, here we go. So the species introduced in the different versions. Jesus, Dino Dana has got a lot of stuff. She's got the woolly mammoth, all that stuff. There was like a book series that I didn't really ended up collecting as much as I wanted. I found it at this one dinosaur museum. The dinosaur museum is really cool though. It opens up with like a T-Rex in the center, and I remember as a kid it was super scary. But it's like I remember or like it was like it kind of advertised itself as there's a book like every book covers another species that is extinct. But literally every single one of them was a different species of dinosaurs, except for one about a woolly mammoth and one about a saber-toothed tiger, and that was it. And I was always like, are they going to do like dodo birds or like other ones? Or do we just care about dinosaurs? Oh, Dromaeosaurus, that was it, wasn't it? Or no, it's not the Diplodocus. Diplodocus is the one where Dan thought that he discovered a new species or whatever, when in reality it was. Why can't I click on it? Oh, for frick's sake. Okay, I'm gonna look up Dromaeosaurus. There we go, yeah, Dromaeosaurus. Dromaeosaurus was the first dinosaur that appeared in it, right? Like the first episode wasn't actually about a Dromaeosaurus, but he was like in the first opening scene or whatever when Dino Dan is. Yeah, because it was about Brachiosaurus or whatever, and it's like he runs after birds or whatever. He's like birds one, Dromaeosaurus zero, because the birds just fly away. And then he's like tries to attack a Brachiosaurus, but the Brachiosaurus defends against it because, obviously the Brachiosaurus is really big. He's like, Brachiosaurus 1, Dromaeosaurus still 0. So who would win between a Brachiosaurus and birds, huh? Could the birds fly high enough, fast enough to get away from the Brachiosaurus's massive head on top of their massive neck or whatever? Ooh, the dinosaur is about to be matrixed out. I haven't actually seen the Matrix, but I know that's something to do with like, you're in a matrix. Freaking Doctor Who did the Matrix before the Matrix did. Didn't Doctor Who also do the Alien and the Ark in Space before the Alien movie or whatever? Oh, yeah, knew that was gonna happen. The dinosaur was gonna reach up and almost grab her leg, but not quite. So I have to head somewhere soon. I signed up to go to this food truck thing, but it turns out that I almost also promised to go meet someone else. I won't mention their name because I don't want, like, I won't even mention, like, who they are because I don't want them to feel bad. Okay, it's my dad, okay? I'm supposed to be meeting my dad somewhere. And I don't want to say, sorry, Dad, I can't meet up with you because I have to go to this stupid food truck thing that, to be honest, I probably won't even enjoy that much because apparently, because of the pandemic, we can only just go to the place and grab our food. And I have to be there within the half-hour time slot of 4 and 4:30. Who cares? No, not the dinosaur exhibit. Eat the people, but don't break the dinosaur bones that they worked so hard to put together. Those dinosaur bones are one of a kind. People could come and see them. Oh, the kid's not dead. Cool, but he should have been dead after that fall. How high do you have to fall in order to actually die? No! It's so weird because it's like either that kid is the luckiest kid or the most unluckiest kid because he keeps on getting in these near-death situations, but he survives. That's like one of the weird paradoxes to think about is that if you end up in a bunch of near-death experiences, but you always end up surviving, are you therefore the luckiest person or are you the unluckiest? Because wasn't there a guy like that? He like built a reputation of he had been on a whole bunch of he had been on a whole bunch of plane rides, but like almost every single plane ride that he had been in, he ended up being like the sole survivor. Or it's like every single plane that he'd been on ended up crashing, but he was at least one of the survivors. But it's like he would talk about how it would be really cool though, because then once like word got out that he had this weird curse slash blessing of constantly surviving plane crashes, whenever he did the T-Rex just save the day or whatever? But I don't know, whatever. But like then like when he would be at an airport, people would he would have the plane almost all to himself because almost everyone was afraid to be on a flight with him. Because I don't think it was like every single plane that he had been on, but it was just like a lot of them. Yeah, there was the Who Would Win book series, which apparently some of my classmates think is complete bullcrap, probably because one of the books didn't have the winner that they wanted. Oh, that's cool, where the banner falls. That's cool. That should be in the thumbnail. I, I'm gonna see if I can put that in the thumbnail, to be honest. But who knows? Maybe I'd be copyrighted or whatever, something stupid like that. But in the Who Would Win, there was a Tyrannosaurus Rex versus Velociraptor, and they were saying that in a one-on-one fight, it's pretty obvious that the T-Rex wins. Is that the last mosquito and sap in existence? At least the last one they could find. But they said that in reality, a Velociraptor would win because he would just call on the rest of his pals in his pack, and they would all take down the place. It's so weird. Like, isn't like a pack of lions is called a herd? No, wait, what am I saying? A pack of lions is called a pride. A pack of giraffes is called a tower. A pack of elephants is called a herd. But it's like normally you always imagine that they're either called a pack or a herd. Wait, is this the end of the movie? Oh my god, it is. We're getting close to the end of the movie. So the guy's upset because his whole thing was a disaster. But don't worry, mate. You'll get like freaking at least four more chances and four more sequels. I thought that the grandpa died, though. I guess not. Does he return in any of the future sequels? They're just happy to be away. Oh, hey, it's the birds, because the birds evolved from dinosaurs. Yeah, this audio clip that I have is 50 minutes. I'm just gonna quickly stop and start just in case stopping now. I'm always so worried that at some point I'm gonna like reach to stop the recording and then it's gonna get corrupted right then, which is why I went and stopped it quickly. This is the ending shot, isn't it? Good old music. Although I think that we have learned in the first ever podcast that I did that if it does kind of get corrupted or whatever, all that happens is that it instantly saves what I did so far. Ooh, this is new. I don't think that we had one where it was like the credits start rolling while the movie's still playing a clip. Do they know for a fact that the other people died though? What happened to Nick Fury? Did he die? I feel like it's Sam Neill. Like, probably the lead actor or something. Yeah, I don't think these are a bunch of the actors. But like, how do they know the guy on the toilet died or that the clever girl guy died? I don't know, whatever. So weird. Okay. Oh yeah, I gotta rate the movie now. I can't even remember what I rated the other movies. Um. Okay, what the hell? So I don't really know what to say. Like, I guess, I mean, the writing was fine, clearly. I don't really know what to say. Like, I guess the writing, I don't want to give it a 10 because like, but it was really good. Does it really deserve a 9 though? I guess I don't know. Like if like I feel like a 7 or even a 7.5 is even too low, but I feel like an 8 is too high. Like the life finds a way and then talking about frog DNA and all that, that was really cool. The very idea of managing to get dinosaur DNA because of the blood and mosquitoes stuck in sap is really cool. Uh, 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 I don't know. I guess I'll give it like a 7.75. Okay, that's really weird. My ratings are becoming super arbitrary. But maybe okay, and then the directing was good. The directing was good. Like the CGI and all that. I think that the CGI and the effects would count in directing in the end. So that was really good. I'll give it. Uh, I don't really know. Like it was really good the way it was shot and all that. So I'll give it a 9. I don't really want to give it a 10. The acting was fine. Of course, there was the iconic scene of them seeing the dinosaurs, but it wasn't like the best scene of all time. It wasn't like, obviously they were very surprised. The guy with the glasses must have survived, right? But I don't think he was in the helicopter at the end. But he must have survived because he's in the sequels. Pretty sure, anyway. He's the guy who always right, so he can just come up with ways to survive and always be right. Oh, I thought for a moment that the TV was kind of. Oh, sorry, my leg was in front of the TV or whatever, and it seemed weird the way the credits are split in two. It looked like they got cut off or something. But so the acting, I guess I'll give like an 8. Do I really want to give it an 8.5? I'll give it an 8.25 for the heck of it, because what the heck. And the music is pretty iconic. Fine, I'll give the music a 10 with that. So my overall ranking for the movie is 8.75, which I think is pretty fair. It's so weird because I keep on talking about these movies and saying they honestly didn't impress me that much. And then I do the calculation of the ratings and they're like somewhere between 8 and 9. And it's like, geez. I think Back to the Future is still the highest rating or whatever. Wasn't it like a 9.5 or something? Because I almost rated everything a 10. I think it was even higher than that, wasn't it? Because didn't I give like the writing a 9.5 or something? Or a 9? And everything else got a 10, I think? I don't really know. Okay. I don't really know what to say about it. I could look on the Wikipedia page, I guess, for Jurassic Park film series. If you didn't mean the film series, you can find the film, or go here to find the Jurassic Park disambiguation. Such a weird word. Like Zerny Zarak and his Doctor Who DVD disambiguation. See, it's got an entire section for Legacy, Jurassic Park Discovery Center, Islands of Adventure. Jeez. See, sequels and merchandise. It's like normally there's like an article for sequel or sequels, but here's just sequels and merchandise. How long do we have? Ah, frick. I got 2 more minutes until I have to end it according to my own rules or whatever. But, I don't know. Water rides? There are Jurassic Park water rides. I don't think that I've ever even been on a water ride. I want to go on a water ride of some kind. But how do you make an entire water ride about Jurassic Park? And how do you do multiple versions? Like, once you've done one, how do you do like there's at least two water. I don't know. Marshall said in May 2020 that Jurassic World Dominion will not be the final film in the franchise, and that it would instead mark the start of a new era in which humans have to adjust to dinosaurs being on the mainland. Well, good luck to that, mate, because everyone hated the last Jurassic World movie, apparently. When does Jurassic Dominion come out? Supposed to come out June 10th, 2022. It's a while away. Original soundtrack on MCA CDs and cassettes. Okay, whatever. Yeah, the movie was fine. I don't want to like undermine it. Obviously, if you enjoyed it, I don't want to take that away from you. It's just personally, it's not a movie that I'm always really anxious to see again or whatever. Then again, I'm never really tempted to put Back to the Future in, but the reason for that is just because I already know everything that happens in the movie. I basically have that movie memorized. Like Star Wars, Superman the movie, and Jurassic. I guess Superman the movie is honestly, out of the four that I've seen so far, is the one I'd be most eager to just put in and watch again. I don't really know why. I guess just because that I kind of enjoy it more than Jurassic Park and Star Wars. I don't know. I'd be eager to put Star Wars in again. I never say no to watching any of these. Steven Spielberg just does everything. Who is Steven Spielberg? I don't know, maybe we'll find out next time because we might have time right now. Thanks again so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like so you enjoyed it. If you didn't like it, please leave a dislike. So you did enjoy it, leave a comment below if you liked how likes. It feels awesome to get some motivation and encouragement. If you didn't like it, please leave a comment below saying why you didn't like it so I can proof next time. Otherwise, I won't be able to improve and just continue as if we were like. And subscribe so then when my next video comes out. Thanks again so much for watching, and as always, I will see you next time. Let me know what movie you want me to review next, if there is one. Deluxe Digital Studios. The movie's already over, so I gotta close this up. Bye-bye. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pandemic Podcast. Today, God dang it, why? And starting again now. And we're back, guys. Okay, so. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. And starting again now. Alright, back. And starting again now. I'm always so worried that at some point I'm gonna like reach to stop the recording and then it's gonna get corrupted right then, which is why I went and stopped it quickly. This is the ending shot, isn't it?
compilation of sheets.
I'm currently in a museum. It's like we're underwater here. That's a menace.